last week that issue came up. Could Tyreek Hill be traded back to the Chiefs? That's highly unlikely given what the Dolphins undoubtedly would want for Hill. And I don't think the Chiefs really want him at this point, despite the need. There was a reason why they moved on. Be a huge dead money charge for the Dolphins in 2025 if they trade him. But regardless, they know who's out there. They know who's got history with the team. And it's one thing to take a stranger to your organization and plug him in. It's another thing to bring someone home who's been there, who's been in the offense, who's been around Mahomes, who's been around the other players, and can get reacclimated and get it done. And really, that was the story for the Chiefs last night. Oh, and the Travis Kelce lateral. Samaje Perine said after the game that it was not scripted. And this is another, I don't think this is as good of a T-shirt idea, but I thought of this one while I was shaving. Travis Kelce, work with me here. Travis Kelce is in the NFG phase of his football career. No F's given. I mean, he turned 35 over the weekend. He's going to do whatever the hell he wants, and nobody's going to do anything to him about it. What are you going to do, fire me? I'll go make $1 billion in Hollywood, right? I'm going to do whatever I want. And that was a I'll do whatever I want play.
Hey, but shout out Andy Reid at halftime when Lisa Salters asked him about it. He said, we'll do that every day in practice, because they probably do. It's probably just the end of a play. Travis Kelce, someone tags his hip, and he sees somebody across the field and is like, if we ever need this, let me just throw it across the field and see what the guys do. And we saw it last year against Buffalo, and even though the play didn't count, it was just another one of those plays of like, this is a good job, right? He throws the ball underneath. The Saints come down, make the tackle, hold him to 3. Kelce's like, hold on, Andy Reid. Let me give you something to think about on 4th down. Throws the ball across the field. And I saw after the game, Mahomes talked about his young daughter he said he told Kelce in the huddle, hey, I'm going to throw you the ball when getting field goal range, kick the field goal. He says, like I'm talking to my daughter, Sterling. Tell her one thing. She goes and does the opposite. Doesn't matter what I say to her. And Kelce's the same way, because I agree with you. You get to that point in your career where you know there's not many games left. You're like, Andy Reid, he knows me well. Whenever I do something, it's just like, that's Trav being Trav. So let Trav be Trav. Be free, Travis Kelce.
Hey, once you go up to Andy Reid during the Super Bowl, scream in his face and shove him, and he doesn't do anything about it, that gives you a lot of other stuff less than that you can do without consequence. And you're right, too. The beauty of the fun they have in practice and the things they experiment with, yeah, if they don't do that stuff in practice, Samaje Perine's got no idea that ball's coming. He's going to be running. He's going to be going, what was that? What was that thing that just flew by my head? So I think that's the beauty of the looseness. I think Peter King's talked about that before. Being at Super Bowl practice this past year, that there's just a looseness to the group and there's a fun to the group that I don't think you can force it. It just has to happen. It's driven by the personalities of everyone involved, and it probably all starts with Patrick Mahomes. And when you're that supremely gifted and you have a true love for football, and that's what he has, and that's one of the reasons why he's never changed. He hasn't gone big time. He doesn't snub people. He just loves football. And he has all the great things that go along with that and the success he's had, and it would be tempting for many to change. He hasn't. And I think he's the guy that keeps that going.
Yes, what people say. He's a football guy. Yes, he's a mega superstar. My kids don't watch a ton of football with me. They know who Patrick Mahomes is. They're fully aware of that. And even though he's reached that status, at his heart, he's just a football guy. He just wants to be good at football. He wants to enjoy the things that come along with playing the game, and that's winning Super Bowls. And that's why it's fun for me as a player who spent 10 years with Tom Brady to look at Mahomes and his approach, how he plays the game, how he structures his contract. All of it is meant on, I want to win Super Bowls. Yes, I want to do all the other things. I want to have big numbers. I want to be the best quarterback in the game, one of the best all time. But a part of that, it goes to winning championships. And you can see that's his focus, how they build the team, how he approaches each and every game, how he gets other guys involved, and he continues to encourage guys. He said after the game, it was great to see Juju Smith-Schuster prove he still has it. And he said, until we get other guys back, each and every game, it'll be somebody else that steps up. He's not in here harping on Xavier Worthy. You have to go be that guy. He's like, no, every week we're going to get a guy in here. It's going to be his night. We're going to game plan, do different things. The defense isn't going to really focus or target in on that person, and we're going to get them the ball, and we're going to get them to them over and over again, and they're going to deliver and make plays. That kind of trust you instill and confidence you instill in your guys in the locker room by speaking that way and then doing it in practice every day. Like, that's the leadership that they need and they've gotten from Patrick Mahomes really since he's taken over as the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Let's hear a little more from Mahomes after last night's 26-13 win on this concept of playing complementary football.
It's we've won different ways. I mean, at the end of the day, our defense is playing their tail off, and I think people are starting to come to realize that even more. And so even when we're getting these field goals, they're keeping us in these games. Obviously, offensively, we had a better day today, a lot of yards. Now it's about finding ways to finish with touchdowns in the red zone so we can make these leads bigger, faster, and then we can really let Spags be Spags. And I think if we can do that, we'll continue to get better and better as the year goes on.
And that's true. And that's the other thing about the Chiefs. They do get better as the year goes on, and they show up for the games that have higher stakes. And here they are, 5-0, money in the bank. Those early season wins, Devin, money in the bank. And it makes it easier to win tiebreakers, force the road to the playoffs through Kansas City. They had to go on the road for 2 postseason games last year. They won both, but they probably realized through that experience it's a little easier to do this at home. In the future, let's keep our stuff buttoned up so we can do this at home.
And that's what we've been talking about. It feels like each and every week when we talk about some of these other teams, whether it's like it's only, a few weeks ago, it's only September. It's still early. These teams will get better. Or, hey, this team, like the Bengals, they get off to a slow start. Yeah. All of these different things that we continue to throw out there. The thing we talk about the Chiefs is they go and they play in preseason. They understand how important each football game is. And they're the back-to-back champions, and they're going for a three-peat. So my whole thing is like, well, that's the standard. That's what we need to be talking about. Teams that are not doing it that way, hey, you're chasing a team that is doing it that way. So let's not crown you or think that you're going to have this supreme shot. It doesn't mean you won't win or you won't have a good season overall and be able to come back out of the slump. But for a team that comes out and shows they have things that they need to work on. We're not saying Kansas City's perfect. Each and every week we walk away from a game and we're like, they need to do better at this. Patrick Mahomes just said it. They need to execute better in the red zone. But in all of that, when they come in the film room this time Tuesday or Mondays, they come and say, hey, we need to get better, but we're doing it while also winning. And that, to me, is the key because it sets you up, like you said, at the end of the season, you're going to be exactly where you want to be. And I love what Mahomes talked about, how they're complementing each other. The defense is stepping up. And if they are able to score touchdowns, what that allows Spags and that defense to do. Because when you look, they give up one big play to Shaheed. And then other than that, it's 2 field goals. Like, as a defense, they know if we hold teams to field goals, it is going to be really hard for the other defense to hold Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs offense to only field goals or to not score one more extra field goal or one extra point more than you in a game. It just, when you have a quarterback like that, you know defensively, if you hold a team to 13 points, you just firmly believe Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and our offense, if we hold them to 13, they'll get 14. If we hold them to 10, they'll get 11. Like, it always, I think for a defense like that, the math equation shows this will usually be the final answer no matter what if we hold a team to that low of scoring.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.